So we should be getting a
Break Beach Bar, in conjunction with Tell Staffing and HR, bring you Play Harder Radio, the Gulf Coast premier sports and BS talk show. Things that matter in the world of sports, and things that don't matter to anyone. It's just Vaj's opinion. Where the F-bomb is allowed, but frowned upon. This is Play Harder Radio. And now, your hosts, Chad Colquitt and James Grant. All right, welcome back to another week of Play Harder Radio. Another bi-weekly session lately. You know? Your mic on?
It is.
There you go. All right. How you doing, Todd? Todd?
No, I can't complain.
Right? Little week off last week.
Yeah, it's been a nice.
The intro's playing again.
Is it? Why? No, it's not. It's just the background. It's not playing again. You didn't hear it.
So, how's your week been?
You know, I am so going to be glad when the school year is over.
Right?
Yeah, it's going to be a nice, relaxing summer trying to find myself.
What do you mean? What the hell is that? What are you talking about?
I'm gonna work on my website.
Quit being a puss.
I'm gonna work on my website. You know, it's not like I'm gonna go on, on some kind of
find myself.
Some outback hike or anything like that to find myself. I'm gonna find out what it is I'm gonna do with the rest of my life, work-wise, hoping to get this website up and everything.
What's your website?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, well, why the hell did you bring it up then?
Because I'm just,
You said you're going to find yourself, and your big,
wishful thinking.
Effort was going to be the website, and then you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be plenty of time.
There's something secret you're trying to keep other people out of.
There'll be plenty of time to talk about it.
Yeah. I am fresh out of Facebook jail today.
Out of what?
Facebook jail.
Oh, well, good. Who?
You know what? I didn't even think about that when I said something that.
You were talking about jail a while ago. I was thinking
Facebook jail.
Bail money. I was going to have to. Can you bail somebody out of Facebook jail?
I'm done with jail.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, you should waive that completely.
I'm almost 3 years clean.
Good. I'm proud of you.
That's pretty sad.
Well, we all got to start somewhere.
When they have those things, give yourself a point for each of these things you've done that you've, those stupid survey things. Skipped school, been to jail, been drunk, done drugs, whatever.
I've done
those kind of surveys. I score too high.
Yeah, that's
higher than I ever scored on any test at school.
That's not something to be proud of in that aspect, right?
Right.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
It means you have lots of stories to tell, though.
All I said about what got kicked me off or got me kicked off of Facebook was saying something about the vaccine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because there's probably so many pharmaceutical companies.
Well, I was fact-checked.
Sponsoring Facebook.
I was fact-checked, and by the fact-checkers.
Right.
On the
well, we don't want our stream
apolitical social media platform.
We're streaming to Facebook right now. We shouldn't talk about this. We might end up
are we streaming to
shut down?
Yeah, Facebook sucks.
He didn't.
Although I'm using them for that right now.
He didn't mean that.
We'll know how well they're listening if this
Mr.
gets
Book.
shut down in the next minute or so.
Mr. Book.
But speaking of the vaccine, it must be a very popular by choice option out there.
popular by choice.
It must be a lot of people must be choosing it because Ohio's having $1 million lottery for vaccine for people that get the vaccine.
Oh, really?
If you get the vaccine, you can put your name in the hat.
For the actual lottery drawing?
No, man, for $1 million for getting the vaccine.
Oh, really? Yeah, it must be. It must
God.
be. They must be. I'm telling you, I haven't watched the news. I did not.
You don't
know.
have to watch the news to follow along with what I'm saying
Well,
right now because you're fucking doing something else. That's what's wrong.
This is like I was telling you. Wait. Somebody iPhone entry. I don't
Max.
know who's. Is that Max? I'm admitting Max.
All right. Well,
he's early. That's okay.
that's fine. No, that's good. We'll talk.
I just happened to. You were saying.
Do you have his setup up?
It just says iPhone. I don't have him set to go yet, though. But I can do that real quick. But Max, if you are there, you need to start your video because it looks like you're not muted, though.
Did you let him in the room?
I did. And this is not Max. Who might this be?
Who do we got?
You can talk.
It's Dan.
Dan. Okay.
Well, why does it say?
I didn't recognize
you know what?
you. It
I'm
just
tired
says
of the
iPhone,
incompetence
Dan.
already tonight.
He's not echoing though, as far as I can tell.
What's up, Daniel?
We haven't brought him in live or anything yet, though. So let's.
Are you there?
You just
Good
keep talking,
evening.
Dan. You can hear him, can't
Todd, shut up.
you? Okay. Can you hear Dan?
Easy boy.
Yeah, chill out.
He's trying.
You know what people never
I got
say?
a lot going on here.
You shut up.
You just say
It's
it with
perfectly
Well-
acceptable.
You just say it with such authority, you know.
Yeah, he does. He's an authoritarian.
Yeah, some people say other things instead of authoritarian.
I'd call you charismatic.
Yeah, I like that. That's still better than some other things.
Well, the weather must be good down
That's
there.
better than what my son
you're
says.
Because you're wearing a T-shirt.
Yeah, and shorts, yo.
It's really bright up here. I had to wear my shades.
Future's so bright.
Yeah.
What do you? This is Dan Begley up in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, home of the Little League World Series.
Yeah, we're going to get one this year. Did you see that?
Oh, Little League World Series?
Yeah, last year it was out, but this year they're bringing it back,
So
but no international teams.
No international teams.
No, they're expanding it to 16. Well, the tournament is 16, 8 and 8. 8 U.S., 8 international.
Right.
But this year they're going to have 16 American teams.
Is the face diaper going to be required?
I think by the time that rolls around, the restrictions are going to be gone.
Don't you butt up to Ohio?
On the eastern border, yes. Yeah. Ohio and West Virginia.
On your western border. Ohio's eastern
border, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Sorry.
So, did you hear what I said about Ohio and the vaccine?
No.
They're having $1 million lottery.
Max is asking to come in.
Yeah, let Max in. We'll talk to Max about some hockey.
Okay, I'm going to have to change.
But I wanted to say this first to Dan. Ohio's having a lottery. If you'll get the vaccine, you get in the $1 million lottery.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, I guess it must be going very well if they're doing that, you know?
Well, you saw the CDC commentary today, right?
I did not.
If you've been vaccinated twice, this is my understanding of it. If you've been if you've had both shots, if you've taken the double shot vaccine, you are no longer required to wear a mask.
Oh, I did hear something about that.
Yeah.
Really?
Big news. Big news. There was a press conference about it this afternoon.
What if it's a one-shot vaccine?
That part I must have missed because I
Is it?
didn't hear anything about that.
Isn't a couple of them, or one or two of them, a two-shot vaccine, and one of them a one-shot vaccine? But they're really not a
Yeah, the
vaccine.
I think it's the Johnson and Johnson was a one shot
Yeah,
vaccine.
the
Could be
blood
wrong
clot,
about that.
the blood clot vaccine.
Yeah, the so-called blood clot vaccine.
Uh, did you get it?
That's a private matter between my doctor and me.
Oh man. Okay.
That's what they call HIPAA,
Yeah. All
right?
right. Yeah. You would. I'll see you at the box, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds great. Thank you, Faja.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks.
All right. That's cool.
Hey,
Dan,
hey, Jim.
Yep.
I just looked up Frank Rutherford Marston. The Legion Post was named after him.
Right.
The first casualty from Pensacola in the First World War.
Wow. Whew.
Yep.
That's kind of goosebumps.
Yeah, he graduated from Pensacola High School in 1911.
Wow. Well, let's talk to Max about his what's going on in his hockey life or just life in general. Max, what's up?
Yeah. Just started the high school hockey season. We just finished up nationals in Michigan.
Right on. Yeah, we tried to get you on while you were at nationals, but we had a technical difficulty. And I did get to watch you walking around the stadium there out in the concourse or wherever trying to talk to us, but we couldn't hear each other.
Yeah, I don't know if that was my end or your end. I don't know what was going on.
It was us. We got it figured. After we had you hang up, we kind of got it figured out.
Oh, okay.
So, of course, right? After you hang up, we get it figured out, but then it was too late. So how was nationals? You guys got out of your pool, right?
Yeah, we got out of pool play. We went 2-3 out of the 4 teams in our pool, or out of the 3 other teams in our pool, and then we lost in the quarterfinals.
That team you played in the quarterfinals, had you played them before?
Yeah, we played them before a couple times, and we lost both games.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I was thinking you beat them for some reason.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But I'm pretty sure we've lost both times, and we definitely can beat them. I just
You were 2-0 at one point, right? You won your first 2 games.
Yeah.
You had 4 teams in your pool. And
Yeah, 4 teams, two other teams, or 3 other teams than us, and then there's this team called Afton, and they were like really strong going into it, and they ended up losing their first 2 games, and we're out of it right away.
Wow. Now I watched a little bit online. Did you guys have a game where you didn't win any face-offs?
I mean, we've kind of been struggling with face-offs all year.
Right.
But yeah, I think it was like our third. Yeah, I think it was our third pool play game against the U.S. Eagles, which is like kind of like an all-star team. They picked the best players around the state from high school. We didn't win like any face-offs that game.
Wow. That's did you say it's high school? Was it a 16 and under tournament?
Yeah.
Cool. So that is where does your Littleton Hockey Association career stand?
Like am I going to further it or not?
Yeah.
I don't know, because my coach this year is not coaching the 18s, which is the team I play on. So I'm thinking about just playing high school next year.
Nice. And like you said, you just started the high school season.
Yeah, the spring season. Yep.
And you play what, tomorrow and Saturday, something like that?
Yeah, tomorrow is senior night at 7:40, and then Sunday morning.
Any questions for him, Dan?
Yeah, it sounds like the high school season is it two halves, Max? Do you have a fall and then a spring? Is that how it works?
Oh,
or
yeah,
just
we
spring?
have the spring season is called High Plans, and it's like it's not as high of competition. It's more of like a enjoyment kind of thing. And then there's the regular season, which is just when the regular hockey season is in the winter, fall, and right before spring. That's the main high school season.
So if you play on a team like you're playing for in Littleton, can you also play for your high school or not?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, because some states don't allow that. You have to pick one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, our coach doesn't really like us doing it, but he can't really control it. So a lot of people do.
The high school coach or the Littleton coach?
The Littleton coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the difference in competition between the two?
I mean, it's pretty similar. Just high school is like more ages from like freshman year to senior year, and then Littleton is just one age group, usually like juniors and seniors, or just sophomores and juniors.
Yeah. So when you're playing high school hockey, what are you, a junior this year?
Yeah, junior this year, and then
so you got guys that are seniors that you're playing up against.
Yeah.
You're a senior You're a senior next fall?
Yes.
What in the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Lord.
Yeah. Well, you can't, for just a lot of reasons, high school hockey is a good option because you're playing for your school, right?
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yeah, and more people come to the games, and there's like a lot more energy in the stadiums, I guess.
Yeah.
Where do you play your games?
It's usually at our home games or at Family Sports, and then we just play wherever, mostly at the new South Suburban, which is like a new 3-rink stadium, I guess, in Littleton.
Nice.
So do most of the high schools have a team?
Yeah, and then our high school is combined with 2 other high schools. So I go to Legend High School, and it's combined with Chaparral High School, and they call it Chaparral. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're not from out there.
So it's probably pretty competitive then.
Yeah, it is. That's
cool. Yeah.
So
good luck. How many games you got in the spring season?
Yeah.
We got 2, maybe 3 games left of the season.
Okay.
Playoffs.
So they've already been playing some games that you missed?
Yeah, I missed almost all the games. I've only gone to 1 game so far.
So what line are you going to be on?
Right now I'm on the first line, but
But what?
Well, we'll see. I'll stay on it. I'll stay on it. I just haven't been playing with them at all, so I gotta just
Yeah, let it go. Let it go.
Yes.
He's got to get some chemistry going. That's what he's saying to you.
I know what
Jim.
he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's got it. That's what I'm saying.
Your Uncle Jim tells me that you're a face-off expert.
I mean, I'm pretty good at face-offs. I didn't get to practice it during the Littleton season very much.
How many face-offs did you take this year?
For Littleton?
Yeah.
I don't know, like maybe 5.
Yeah. I'll reserve my comments for private conversation.
Yeah, we had a big discussion about the importance of winning face-offs not too long ago.
Don't you agree with that, Max? How much do you look at the stats when you're watching a game? When you're watching a game, do you look at any stats to give you a feel for how the game's going or how you think the outcome to give you a feel for who might win?
I mean, mostly we just look at shots, and then I guess mostly just shots, and then there's not really anything else we can really look at.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like from the hockey I watch and stuff, that winning face-offs, that the team that wins the game usually dominates the face-offs, the majority of the face-offs.
That's definitely true, because face-offs are a really big part of the game.
So if I was a really big part of the game. So I'm feeling like if I was a coach and my team was struggling with face-offs, that I might make some changes.
I mean,
you don't have to say anything.
Well, face-offs are situational too. I mean, if you have the ability to, if you're the coach and you have the ability to put somebody out there that you have confidence is going to win a critical face-off, you're going to do it. The only time you can't really do that is on an icing call because you can't make a change.
Yeah.
But
Right.
most of these guys at the NHL level, you'll see guys come out just to take the face-off, and they go right off.
Yeah.
And they change on the fly.
That's why I'm wondering if a team's struggling with face-offs, you have to spend more time on the face-off. I mean, you have to if you're struggling with face-offs, you got to put somebody else in there.
Do you have sound on?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you have your sound
No,
turned
because
down?
they're breaking up.
I'll call you back. I'm what?
Oh, I was asking if you had your sound on or something.
No, I'm good.
Dan is asking they were two. Oh, that was probably a long time ago. Nothing.
Well, what did he say?
They were a 2-1 pool play.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was a long time ago.
I thought 2-1. I don't know where Max was getting that 2-3 action for pool play. 5 games.
Oh, what?
That's what you said.
I meant that we won 2 out of 3 games.
There
Like we
you
were
go.
2-2.
It's probably what you said. It was probably my mistake. Probably my mistake. So in the high school, you've played 1 game so far?
Yes.
And when was that?
Last Friday night.
Oh, so you practiced Thursday. We talked on Thursday. You played Friday. How'd that game go? Did you win?
Yeah, we won. It was a pretty good game.
Nice. Did you score?
No. Got an assist.
Okay. Nice.
What was the score?
It was 5-2.
Okay.
How many shots?
Kind of a blow.
How many shots you get? You know?
I think I only got 1 shot that game.
Right on. I know why. We'll talk later. Gretzky.
Watch the game?
Creativity. No, you know that I know everything without having to see anything, right?
Yes, of course. And after we lost in the quarterfinals, we went to Buchanan, and we hung out there for the rest of the day, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I got a lot of pictures from Buchanan. Dan, I think you remember Dan. Dan's from Alpena, Michigan, up north. Buchanan is where Max's dad and I went to high school, grew up. So
yeah, that's like another country as far as I'm concerned.
I'm sure it is. Even though we're both in the Lower Peninsula, but you think your shit don't stink or something.
It's just no. It's just so far over to the west. It's like Chicago.
Well, it is. It's only 90 miles from Chicago.
Yeah.
We Max, you got out to Redbud, huh?
Yeah, that was really cool.
Right?
Got to walk on the track too.
I heard you got to get out on the track.
Yeah. We talked to the owner's son, and he's like, "Oh yeah, just go in." We had to go like through the driveway, I guess, or the side of the driveway, and then we drove up, and it was all open.
Nice. Dan, you know much about motocross?
Me?
Yeah.
I know I like watching it, but I don't know much about it.
So Redbud's had a national since I think about 72-ish. 73, 74, somewhere in there. And it's a big deal in Buchanan. They've had a national race every year for the last, so what is that, 30? Coming up on 50 years, 45 years, something like that. Wow. 46, 7 years. So it was Max's dad, whose name is Dan as well, my brother Dan, and I. That was pretty much our life at the end through the teen years and up until about 20. That's what we live for. And
did you ride?
Oh yeah, that's the first place I ever raced was there.
No kidding.
125B class, 40 bikes, handlebar to handlebar, just like almost overlapped, right? And if you watch the motocross, I mean, it's full throttle. When they throw the 10-second sign up, it's full throttle until they drop that gate. It's pretty exhilarating.
Yeah, it looks cool. These indoor races I've seen are kind of neat too.
Well,
I mean,
super.
they all bang into each other like crazy. It's
See,
cool.
Richie and I have done motocross racing televised.
Nice. That's cool. You take that starting line goes from 40 bikes wide down to a turn that's maybe 5 to 10 bikes wide, if that.
Yeah,
So it's a sprint to that turn, and it's pretty cool.
they have to be athletes to do that. I
Oh,
mean, good athletes.
Yeah, it's the cardio is pretty. What it takes cardio wise is pretty amazing, and
Can
strength
imagine.
really, forearm strength,
Yeah, balance.
grip strength, yeah, balance. It's pretty cool. What else did you see in Buchanan, Max?
We saw Mars, although it's not called Mars anymore.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Marzita's. That was Marzita's sweet shop when I was a kid.
and then we saw the high school, Buchanan High School.
You would yell me. That's an instant loss. Yo, Sammy, I need you for this one. Come on.
What are you playing, Todd?
Dude, it's
That's not
it's
me.
a bullet.
No, that was me. Sorry. Don't blame it on Todd.
You're getting Todd in trouble, man.
Yeah, sorry.
What the high school look like to you, Max?
The high school?
It looked pretty little, probably compared to what you're used to.
Yeah, I was surprised when I heard that the graduating class was only like what 60, 70 people or something.
Whose? Your dad's?
For my dad's, yeah.
Shoot, I thought mine was like 170, but maybe I'm wrong. That we were only 2 years apart. But
Yeah, it was way smaller than what I thought it was. But I guess it doesn't really need to be.
how many in your class?
600.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, what else you got for me tonight?
I don't know.
You didn't
Who's
bring
your
it.
cup-
You
Who's
didn't.
your cup pick?
Yeah, let's
who's your
talk.
Stanley Cup
Let's talk
pick?
about who the favorite is.
Oh,
Who's the favorite?
I feel like the favorite right now is like the Golden Knights, but the Avs are looking really good.
Well, the Avs are only 2 points out of first place, so
The
and
Avs
they
can
have
win and then be first place. I think
they can't be in first place,
they can if they win their next game, then they'll be first place.
right? And that's why that bracket is not settled.
Right, they've played one less
Because-
game too. They can still win that division.
Right. If they win that game, it flips the bracket around because right now they can't match them up.
But when I say the favorite, the odds in Vegas on all the boards are the Avalanche.
Really,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
What are the odds? What are the odds?
What, plus 450? Something like that?
Well, they're hot.
Whereas
Right now.
whereas the Calgary Flames are plus 15,000.
Well, they're not even going to make it. So it's might as well be plus 1 million.
That maybe that's what that was. I didn't I didn't see who number 16 is lining up as number 16. They play within their division, right? They bracket it out of their division, 4 teams out of each division,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they play in their conference.
Well, right now the Avalanche they're 7-3 in their last 10. They've won 4 in a row. They've played 55 games. They need to play one more. I don't know who it's against. But if they win that game, they win the division because they've got, even though they'll have one less win than the Knights, they have one less loss also.
The Knights are a pretty big, pretty good success story for a expansion franchise. I know
it's a phenomenal story.
they got built through that supplemental draft, right?
Yeah, which is the same thing that's going to happen with Seattle.
So Who is their coach?
Who was their coach?
Yeah.
The first guy was Gerard Gallant.
Didn't he get fired from Florida?
He got fired from Florida. He went to Vegas, took them to the Stanley Cup Finals.
In the first year or second year?
I think it was the first year.
Yeah.
And then he got fired 2 years later.
Right. The glory is short-lived.
Yeah, I think George McPhee is the general manager for the Golden Knights.
Max, who are you? Do you know who are the two teams you could are you projecting to get in the first round for the Avs? Do you know?
Richie is actually waiting to come in the room.
I do not.
Well, the only two options would be the Wild or the Blues. Okay, so if they finish first, they'll play the Blues. If they finish second, they'll play the Wild.
And the Avs are playing right now. They're playing the Kings, and they're losing 1-0.
Yeah.
They need to
The
win.
Kings are out. Yeah, the Kings are out.
Hey,
so
you're muted right now.
Tell them we're going to talk a few minutes of hockey, and we'll be ready to talk to them.
Richie probably likes hockey too.
Cool. Dan, who's your pick
Hey, buddy,
overall pick?
for the yeah?
flip your camera sideways.
I don't know, man. It's a tough one. I think the Penguins are really strong. They added Jeff Carter. They got 3 sides. They got really good defense.
You can talk. Are you in the middle of something?
I think they'll come out of the Eastern Central bracket if that's how they do it. And then coming out of the West,
Can you hear me, Richie?
in the North, it
Yep.
could be it's a toss up between
Are you working
Vegas,
still?
Colorado, and then in that Canadian division, the North Division. I think I don't know. I like the Oilers.
Right.
They got a lot of offense, and they're hot too. They're 8-2 in their last 10.
You got to give the Caps some respect. You got to give the Lightning, the defending champs, some respect.
Hurricanes.
Yeah,
too.
I mean it's a tough.
Yeah, the
it's a
Hurricanes
tough-
have been playing well.
It's a very even. The teams at the top of the divisions are all stellar, all of them. Probably the top 2 teams in each division.
Right. Richie, how are you? Or did you just
He just muted
take?
himself.
All right, we'll catch him in a second.
Wait, no, there you go. Hey, Rich.
How you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
All is well.
Right
All
on.
is well.
Are you
Just
still-
had an unbelievable seafood dinner in the city of Baltimore.
Where did you eat?
So there's a place called Azuma that's literally right across from the hotel that we're staying in. It's waterfront and quite delicious.
I'm not familiar with
yeah,
that one.
it was my first 12-course meal.
12 course?
Yeah, they
Wow.
just keep bringing stuff out.
Nice.
Mm.
Are you a hockey fan at all?
So I'm just starting the hockey venture. My son plays hockey. He's 8 years old, which has led me to play never ever hockey. So I'm into my 5th practice. And for a 42-year-old to start hockey, I have
Hopefully we'll catch him. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah,
Mac?
that's pretty courageous.
Yeah.
Max, you've been playing. Was this about your 10th year at Littleton?
Yeah, I think 10th year.
I think you started when you were 7.
Yeah, I started when I was 7 at Arapahoe, and then the next year, Littleton.
I used to have. Hopefully, we'll get Richie back to talk about that. That's awesome? Never ever. That's awesome.
That's what is that something, Max, that is known around the country at different places? That's what it's called. Like whenever they're the parents coming in and doing them with their
Oh,
kid?
never ever hockey. I've never heard of it. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
But we get the drift, right?
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
What is it like? What's
For
is it
somebody
just
that's
adult
never
league?
ever played.
Oh.
An adult that's never played.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's 42 years old and he's in his 5th practice ever.
But he's doing it with his son, and his son's probably
His son's in his own league,
Yeah.
and so he's doing a league
Yeah.
so that he gets the feel for the game with his son. That's pretty cool. I wonder if he
Yeah.
realizes yet that he's going to need a 3rd job.
Yeah.
Bill Gates needs a 2nd job to support a kid
That's-
playing hockey.
That's not far from the truth.
'Cause, Max, how many times did you go out of town this year?
We went to Dallas five times, and then Michigan once, Minnesota,
Indianapolis? Or
St. Louis,
St. Louis, yeah.
and then we went to Houston. So like 9 times.
Arizona?
Oh, that was last year.
But it was December or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was January. So
It
I
was
guess
this season, though, right?
No, it was last season.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool. Hopefully we'll get Richie back. I want to hear about his exploits and his son's exploits before we talk a little horse racing. I went to
Somebody's getting ready to play some video games, too, it looks like.
What's that?
I saw Max twirling his video game controller there.
Oh,
It looks
yeah.
like he's getting ready to play some video games, too.
No.
What's your game of choice now, Max?
I mean, I haven't really played video games in like months, but mostly just GTA and Modern Warfare.
Nice. Have you and Jared hooked up online and played?
No.
Right on. He's on his back. He had surgery last week, so he's on his back for a couple weeks.
What was the surgery for?
He had a hemorrhoidectomy.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's to say the least. Ugh.
I'm sure he's thrilled that you just brought it up on the air.
I'm not going to bring up his discharge instructions.
Hopefully it didn't include a wire brush.
See, you got to. I told him he told me what they said on it, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I'm like, I'm going to bring it up on the show tonight. And as I sit here thinking about saying it, I'm like, there's no way I can say it.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
No, Richie.
Especially with we've already discussed the HIPAA laws. So
Right.
you probably should pay attention.
Yeah, I guess. I'll be glad to disclose my HIPAA information.
Publicly?
I was going to I went to the Blue Wahoos game last night. My son-in-law, Jacob, texts me a picture, and it's right on the Blue Wahoos are the AA team here in town, and they are associated with the Marlins. But he takes a picture, and it's right on the front row, right behind home plate. And he goes, "We got an extra ticket." And I'm like, "Right now?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm on my way." From my couch to my seat at the stadium, 27 minutes.
That's awesome.
And that included a slight delay getting in because I didn't have a face mask.
How'd you get around that?
He had a face mask for me. He had them in a package, which he carefully opened and made sure he didn't touch. And he goes, and I was trying to pull one out, and he goes, "You got two?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't want two." He goes, "Yeah, I know how many you want."
I thought you didn't have to wear a mask at all down there.
They're still private. By the state, you don't have to wear a mask.
Wow.
But by the private entities, you do. They can ask you to wear one. So I took the mask in my hand, and I just went walking in when I got by, and the guy's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." And so I just took it in my hand and walked in. I never put it on.
Here, Richie's coming back in.
So, all right, we're getting Richie back up here, you guys. You'll have to give him the DL the lowdown on hockey.
So we got hockey players here, Richie.
Okay, great. Yeah. Sorry about that. Apparently, after working 10 hours today, the phone just died. So,
go figure.
Back up in the room now. I've got it on charge. We're good.
Right on. So, Richie, my friend Dan Begley is on, who has played hockey all his life. How old are you now, Dan? 60?
Yep.
Yep. And Max, my nephew, who is 17 now, and he started like your son. He started at 7. I don't know if it was 6 or not, but at least at 7. And so this is his 10th year of hockey. So he can give you some insight on the junior hockey world.
And he's a state champion, right, Max?
Yeah, state champion in Colorado this year for 16 and unders, and just played nationals in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yep. Very cool. So, yeah, the Nashville Predators do a program in Louisville called Try Hockey for Free. We took my son to that. He thought that was the greatest thing. So we put him in to learn to play. And from there, it's been about a year. So now he's on an Ice Cardinals program. It's a travel league. And the guy that we initially signed up with said hockey is like no other sport. It's a family sport. You will learn to love the people that you play with and their parents and families. And that's exactly what we've learned. And so I ended up jumping into a never ever league with 17 other parents from the 8U program. So it's, a Monday night program that we skate for about, we do a 30-minute lesson on a chalkboard and then an hour and a half on the ice. Now, and it kicks my ass every Monday night.
Are you doing it out at Gardner Lane, or are you doing it at the place out on Westport Road?
It's no, it's not. It's not Bob Farmer's place.
Oh, okay.
This is Iceland in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a sport. The sport is not only balance but hand-eye coordination. To do all that at once, and the endurance you have to have just to be on the ice for a minute and a half or even less than that, it's ridiculous. I grew up a football, basketball fan, but hockey is a much tougher sport. It's insane.
Yeah, and you have to be a lot smarter to play it.
Of course,
right,
you do.
Max? Right, Max?
Yeah, I agree.
You cannot be a dummy and play hockey.
Yeah, otherwise you get blown up.
Yep.
It's funny, Richie, we were just talking. So the first time or second time Dan was on the show, we had the Al Randall is the 25-year voice of the Michigan Wolverines hockey team program, University of Michigan. Yeah. And we had him on the show. And Max was on the show that night, and Dan and Al were friends. And Dan was talking about the camaraderie of the people that you play hockey with, and that they're forever, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like no other sport.
Yeah.
It's not, it goes even beyond, and Max is probably a little young now, but as he gets older and continues to play, even after his competitive days are over, he's gonna, and your son will have this to look forward to. Even guys you play against become your friends.
Oh yeah.
There's some kind of, there's just something about the game and the respect between players that lasts forever.
You know what? There's always something about, watching them at the end of a game line up and shake hands.
Yeah.
In pro hockey, that's just awesome.
Well, yeah, that's a tight community.
Go ahead, Richie.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully didn't lose him again.
1 second.
We got the audio.
His wife's calling you. Angela's calling. No.
Yeah. Now, 1 second. I gotta try to jump on some Wi-Fi here. Sorry about that, fellas.
That's all right.
Oh, you're fine. We can still hear you, Richard.
Max, are your most of your closest friends the guys you play hockey with?
Yeah, I hang out with them all the time, and we play golf. We're gonna be playing a lot of golf this summer.
Nice. You still working at the club?
Yeah, and then I just got hired at Home Depot, so I'm starting there next Wednesday.
Nice.
Yep.
You got a lot
Good
of money to
work ethic.
save in 3 months, my man. Or you send me those damn AirPods back.
I know.
So my thing about the closeness of hockey and players, just being 5 weeks into playing and at a very entry level, it kicks my ass every 5 weeks or every time for 5 weeks. I think the closeness becomes you have to be a tough motherfucker to play the sport, and everybody that plays it realizes that. I never knew that until I got on the ice myself. And even the first skate, just going up and down the ice, learning to skate forward, to skate backwards, to hockey stop. I mean, that hour and a half, I was begging for water. That's something that unless you do it, you don't realize it.
That's right.
No.
I played football all my life. I played basketball all my life. Yes, we were close. Nothing like what it has been. And it's only been 5 weeks for me. It's been a year for my son. So yeah, it's a tough sport, man.
Yeah, it's physically demanding, and think about, take it to the next level, Richie, when you're getting in shape to play the game, right? Think about the brain and how it works when it's deprived of oxygen.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by you can't be a dummy when you're out there. You just to think while you're doing that stuff is too much for most human beings.
It really is. And to jump in it at 42, it's a challenge for myself. And to take it beyond the ice time is precious. That's why it does cost money to be on the ice. So when you're not on the ice, you have to be stick handling. You have to practice your shot off ice. So we made a little area in my garage that had slick surface, and I have a hockey goal in my garage.
Yep.
And living in Kentucky, I didn't think I'd ever have a hockey goal in my garage.
Yeah, it's so much has changed. I'm of the older generation, and I've been able to be fortunate enough to watch, the interest in the game grow in the United States. When I started playing, there was only a few places in the country where it was popular, and most of them were either up north or border cities, near Canada, and the game spilled over. But when Al was on the show a few months ago or whatever it was, he's a stat guy. I mean, he knows everything when it comes to the world of hockey. And he brought something up that I was aware of but had forgotten. The most participants in amateur hockey in one major metro area is a place that you'd never think of. At least I wouldn't.
Miami.
San Jose, California.
Huh.
The
More
Sharks.
participants registered out there. So it just goes to show you, Jim's down in Florida. It's starting to get more popular down there. Down south, you got 2 teams in Florida, 2 pro teams. I wouldn't be surprised at some point. I think Louisville has probably had some minor league teams over the course of
they had the River Frogs and Ice Hawks, and actually the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
Minor league was here for a handful of years. It wasn't very long.
Nice.
Yeah. So is everybody there like a Predators fan or what?
So no, it's a mixed bag, and it's the same way with NFL.
Probably Blues.
Living in Louisville, you do not have any pro teams here. So, NFL, you have a lot of Colts fans, Bengals fans, Steelers fans, and Cowboys fans.
I didn't hear Browns.
NHL hockey wise, it's typically, Red Wings, Penguins, but the Predators have had they've done a really good job of getting the community involved with that Learn to Play program. The only problem with that is we're considered in their market. So if you which I did buy a subscription to NHL to watch any games, we're blacked out of Predators home games.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit. So
yeah,
right.
You can watch it on, for the people that have cable, they can watch it on Fox Sports.
Yeah.
But as cable cutters,
I'm not on cable anymore. So
yeah,
Beast
I'm
TV,
like you.
Beast TV, $15 a month, every game.
There you go.
There's also a site you can go on to called NHL 66. You can get all the games for free.
Nice. I will pass that along.
Way to go, Max.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I'm right up the hockey, and I'm especially excited for this playoffs. Now, I have not claimed a team yet. I'm leaning towards the Predators because that's who got us started on this. But I haven't officially picked an NHL team yet.
What about your son? Does he has he picked a team?
So originally it was Penguins, and then one of his coaches is a big Red Wings fan, so he talked him out of that. But right now he's a San Jose Sharks fan because it's Sharks and he likes Sharks. But I think when the Seattle Kraken starts,
he's going to go for them.
Yeah. He likes the logo. We've already got him the hoodies. So, with it being a new team, I just wish they were a little bit closer. He's not big on the Predator. I was trying to get him to be a Predators fan, but he's not going for it.
I got just a little addition to what we were talking about with family. I'll be playing in a tournament that's an MS fundraiser. It's kind of a big deal on the East Coast in August. And there's 10 skaters and a goalie, 11 guys. Seven of the skaters are related. My son and I, we got another guy with his two sons and another guy with his son.
Wow.
Seven guys out of the 10 are related. So that just goes to show you what happens.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that's awesome that we've had this little hockey connection here. We'll get Richie back. Richie came on last week because he and Todd know each other, and we wanted to talk about, or 2 weeks ago, and talk about the Derby a little bit. So you guys are welcome to hang around and chip in or learn something about the ponies. But Richie, what's it like in Maryland this week?
So my Baltimore experience so far is I flew in yesterday, a day early, kind of day drink and had a lot of crab,
Right.
So we went over to the track this morning and today, and my role this week is a lot different than what it was for Derby in Louisville. What I'm doing is kind of a specialty camera. This is called jockey camera. So we will do live POVs from the jockeys' helmets, 2 riders per race, for 7 races on Saturday. And you will be able to either see that on NBC, or you can go to their live feeds on social medias and just see what the jockey, whoever we decide is going to wear the cameras on those races, see what they see. So it's a little bit different of role for me. The company that hired me for this to work for NBC, seen some of the stuff I was doing for the morning works for Derby, and decided to bring me on board.
Cool. You enjoying it?
Yeah, it's a blast, man. It's one of those things. It's something different and unique, and I'm set up right outside the jocks room, and after working with these guys for so many years, it's just like, oh, there's Richie. What do you want to do now? I want to put a, camera on your helmet. Well, okay, whatever you want, let's do it, type thing. So
that's awesome. Well, this is the 146th Preakness this weekend.
Yeah.
And only 3 horses from the Derby.
Yep. So, and one of them's pretty controversial.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. So that was interesting. For the people that don't know, the Kentucky Derby winner, Bob Baffert trained Medina Spirit, tested positive for a substance that initially it's a steroid antibiotic. It was tested with 21 picograms. For the people that don't know what picograms, that's 1 trillionth of a gram. So take that as you will.
Right. Which is double the allowed amount.
Double the allowed amount. How you measure that, who knows, But it's a substance that's not allowed at that rate. So the winner, actually the top 4 contenders in the Derby get tested for substance. They do a split blood sample. The first one came back positive. When it was announced, Bob Baffert came out and said, hey, we don't really know what's going on. We're asking for the second. So they split the blood so you can have it tested again. So that's still pending.
I find that interesting that test could be anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks, even up to 6 months before they make a determination on that on the split portion of the blood to confirm the first test.
Yeah. I didn't realize that they actually send the blood overseas to get tested for that second one.
Wow.
Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they send it somewhere here locally? The first one was tested in Iowa, which is odd to me as well. You'd think Kentucky would have a place that they could test that.
Yeah, the Racing Commission. Well, I mean, they're the ones that suspended him. He had an issue at the Arkansas Derby recently.
Yeah, so with Charlatan and Gamine, both of them were in Arkansas. They both tested positive for something completely different.
Lidocaine.
And if you even go back to, Lidocaine. If you even go back to Justify, the Triple Crown winner, he tested positive in Santa Anita, so in California. So that's 4 top horses in the last 2 years that have tested positive with something. And there's always, so far it has been an acceptable excuse.
Right.
For that. This one, I think the split sample will come back positive, and it's going to be a decision that Churchill has to make on
how are they going to handle
the results of the 147 Derby.
How are they going to handle the payouts?
The bets stand, I believe.
Bet stand.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The bets will stand. That will not change. The only thing that would change would be the earnings and the Derby winner. If it comes back positive and Churchill does something about it, that would make Mandaloon your Derby winner. So Brad Cox would win his first Derby. And that's actually what I did Derby Day. I don't know if I spoke about that last time we talked, but we did an all-day follow for Brad Cox. As soon as he pretty much got out of bed until after the race, I was constantly following him, asking him questions all day. And
did he have more than one race?
What's that?
Did he have more than one horse in the Derby?
Yeah, he had the Derby favorite, Essential Quality, and Mandaloon.
Yeah. So,
which in his first Derby, he finished 2nd and 4th. That's not bad.
Right. Now, I thought it was interesting that Essential Quality, who was the favorite for the Derby, is not running in the Preakness.
So I did not think he would run into Preakness. He is a horse that is better with distance, I believe. So if he would have won the Derby, he would have run into Preakness. Since he didn't, I feel that, and this is just me not talking to Brad,
Right.
but I just feel that he'd be pointing towards the Belmont because it's a longer race.
Right. So does that, I mean, with the, you know, do you know, and speaking of that, I didn't know that, I wasn't paying attention to the fact that the Derby's 1.25 miles, that the Belmont is shorter, and then you go up to a mile 1.125, and that you go up then up to 1.5 miles for the Belmont.
Yes. That's why the Triple Crown, man, it's a grueling, you know, and it's 5 weeks. You know, horses don't typically race 2 weeks after. And for a 3-year-old to race a 1.25 miles, the longest they've ever raced in their life, and then race 2 weeks later, that's something.
Right.
And then 3 weeks from that, you know, you're going 1.5 miles.
So I was in doing a little research, I didn't realize that Man of War won 20, even after Secretariat, there were people that voted Man of War the horse of the 20th century.
Yeah.
And he won 20 of 21 races in his career. He did not run in the Derby.
No.
Because his trainer did not believe in running that far first time out.
Yeah.
So he won the Belmont or the Preakness in the Belmont, but I just thought that was an interesting little bit of trivia.
That's Man of War's an interesting story in itself, and even the connections to Greg Harbault is the great grandson of the groom of Man of War, and we did a couple features on him. He is the bloodstock agent out of Lexington, Kentucky. Bloodstock agents, they pretty much do pedigree work from, mares and colts or stallions, and they put together good pedigrees to race. He's the great grandson of the groom of Man of War. He also was part owner of a Derby horse last year, Necker Island. So we've been speaking a lot with him. I've seen a ton of footage and photos of Man of War, which is a great horse, but yeah, never ran in the Derby.
That's cool. Man of War sired War Admiral.
Yep.
And he was the grandsire of Seabiscuit.
It's all about pedigree in the horse racing industry. It's by those bloodstock agents. That's actually where all the money's made, is in breeding and bloodstock.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool. So I guess still, even with the drugs and all, even with the steroid, the picograms, the 11 too many picograms. He's the favorite. Medina Spirit's the favorite for the Preakness.
I looked at it this morning, 9 to 5. He will. I mean, I with Johnny Velasquez on the back of him, I don't see him losing to. The only other horse I can see is the other Bob Baffert Concert Tour. It's got Mike Smith on.
Right.
Bob left Concert Tour out of the Derby for a reason, and he was pointing towards Preakness. You think
that was a distance thing?
Beat himself. What's that?
Was that a distance thing?
No, I think Concert Tour wasn't ready for the 1.25 miles.
Right.
Yeah, I honestly think that Bob said earlier in the week, and it might have been the same day that I talked to you all in an interview, that he just felt Medina Spirit had heart, and he hadn't seen, all of his Derby winners have had heart, but this one especially reminded him of Silver Charm. And I think that was kind of a hidden little snippet that if you were a Bob Baffert fan in Medina Spirit, that probably is what put you on it. Other than that, every other interview that he said, he was not a big believer in his own horse winning. So
that's interesting. The other one of the other Derby horses, Midnight Bourbon.
Yeah.
I think, you know,
Midnight Bourbon. I think, you know, Mike Smith rode him in the Derby. A lot of people liked Midnight Bourbon. He's a big muscular horse. He just looked like a Derby horse. I find it interesting that Irad Ortiz is on him for the Preakness. I think he'll be in a stalking position and can come up late. I just, I don't know. I feel that Baffert and Medina Spirit Concert Tour may get the best of this one.
Right. Some people were talking that I didn't quite understand that if Midnight Spirit or Medina Spirit went out the way he did in the Derby, you know, hard like that, you know, he was wire to wire, right, at the Derby.
Right.
And
insane.
Yeah, right. And especially at the odds he was coming in at, and that wouldn't be a good race to run at the Preakness. But I would think with it being, you know, what, a half a furlong or a furlong shorter, that'd be a good way to run again.
You know, he'll be on the lead coming out, and it's whether, you know, that mile and a quarter 2 weeks before, will he be able to withstand that, you know, that and taking the lead here. And it all depends on pace. You know, these jockeys are really good at once they get to the front, they can determine on the pace of the race. You know, if it's a slow pace in the half mile, then he has plenty of horse left. But if somebody else pressures him and he has to really run the first half mile, you're not going to make it all the way around the finish line. So pace-wise, I haven't really looked at this race. I don't know who else is going to push this pace. That was one thing with the Derby. There was no pace in the Derby. The one pace horse in the Derby was Caddo River, which ended up scratching before they did the draw, or pulled out of the race before they did the draw. So there was no pace in the Derby, and that is exactly why Medina Spirit was able to go gate to wire.
Gotcha. So, all right. Well, listen, if you got to put your money on one horse, who you got?
You know, as much controversy is going on, I ran into Jimmy Barnes, which is Bob Baffert's assistant today. It was just, you know, casual conversation. Hey, man, congratulations. Hope you guys win. He seems to be in pretty good spirits after everything. I say let the controversy continue to a Triple Crown, man. Let's see if Medina Spirit can do it. I mean, would
that be awesome?
It would be fun to watch. You know, hey, all these people, all you people are looking for is drama, anyways. Let's see if he can win the second leg, and then probably get pulled off the Derby, and it'll be really big going into the Belmont, and then you got, you know, Essential Quality probably coming back.
Right.
Mandaloon will probably be coming back. You know, would Mandaloon be your Derby winner at that point?
That's crazy.
He'd be tested the second time too.
He's getting tested. He is
getting.
He's getting.
Let me. Yeah. So the deal was for Bob to enter Medina Spirit into the Preakness. There was a separate blood test that is going to be taken and disclosed before the race.
Right.
So, which he'll be clean because, you know, that's out of his system. At this point, I mean, if there's something in the system, then yeah, he can't run. So there is a possibility he scratches before the race, but I think he'll be clean. He'll be able to run, and you know, we'll see what happens.
Baffert, they were pretty adamant, and of course they're not going to be anything but adamant that they didn't use the drug. But you know, with him winning that appeal in Arkansas and in other places, I'm curious to see how this goes down for him. Yeah. I don't want him to be guilty. You know what I mean?
Right. No, yeah, I get it. You know, and I don't. So the last I heard, it was the topical cream.
Right.
For skin. You know, that's the last I heard. I've heard from people that, yeah, that is possible. and I also had dinner with a veterinarian that has nothing to do with the horse racing industry, and was told that the topical cream would not cause the picogram, to be over.
Huh.
Do I know that? No, but that's from a veterinarian outside the sport. They were questioning that part of it.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting about that is that I know in going to baseball and the steroid issue, that a lot of that was that the way they took it was topical.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know about that until that time. Wasn't aware of it at that time, but you would got to believe that it's going to show up. That's interesting to say that it wouldn't show like that, but we shall see, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm excited for it. It's going to be, apparently there may be a chance of a slight, little bit of rain here Saturday. It was absolutely beautiful today. It's going to be beautiful again tomorrow. Black-eyed Susan's tomorrow. That's the Philly race. I don't really have anything in that race for you.
That's the party day in Baltimore. I'll tell you that.
Oh, it's insane. That's yeah. Oh yeah, I did check out the porta pot. I was telling you about the porta pot races last time. They have now built a huge tent in the middle of the infield, and all the porta pots are in one spot underneath the tent, so there will not be any porta pot racing.
That's crazy. Max and Dan, Max especially, go to YouTube and look up the running of the porta potties at the Preakness. Look that up on YouTube, and it is the best video ever. When that guy gets canned with that full beer and just, knocks the shit out of him. It is. You got to have some big ones to run up there with full beer cans being blasted at you. So yeah, you guys got to check that out. It's hilarious. So, listen, Richie, I appreciate you calling in. I'm going to go with you on Medina Spirit. I think we'll just go all in on Medina Spirit and let the controversy continue.
Yeah. Let's do that. Now, if you're putting money on it, you probably want to find better value. 9 to 5 is not very good value. So if you're looking for value, it'd be cool to see Midnight Bourbon.
That's what I was thinking.
Like I said, I read Ortiz on top of Midnight Bourbon. Steve Asmussen. That would be it'd be a good combo to win.
Nice. Well, there's no real chalk in this race. So 9 to 5 and Concert Tour's 5 to 2, I think. So
Concert Tour would be any exotic bets, exactas, tries. You would have to add Concert Tour into, for sure.
Right. Well, listen, I appreciate everybody calling in tonight and contributing. I love that we have this. We're building our own little hockey fraternity here. I guess I'm the last one that needs to never ever get my ass on the ice.
Hey, I do have a never ever. We will have a Kinslow Cup, so maybe I can do a report from the Kinslow Cup after we see. Now, with the addition of 17 8U parents, we're up to 49 never evers, and instead of 2 teams, we have 3 teams this year. So there's a white, black, and a blue team. So, I'll definitely come back and report how we did. I'm on the blue team, so we'll go with the blue.
Right on.
But, I'll let you know how that works out.
Well, listen.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Max and Dan are both regulars calling in and chatting, and you're new to the family here in the last couple of weeks. That anytime you want to check in. And please
Richie,
do.
You don't even have to be at a horse race. You can,
check in.
Anyway.
I definitely will. Yeah.
Now we know you're good for more than just horse racing now.
Exactly. Hey.
Well, that was pretty, Richie. I got to say, I'm not a horse guy, but that was really interesting. That everything you contributed was awesome.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things that I got into broadcast and was lucky enough to land in horse racing. And being from Louisville, Kentucky, you appreciate horse racing. The Derby parties growing up, friends and family were all into it. So to be in broadcast and horse racing, it's pretty much a blessing. And the more you get involved in the sport, you can compare it to hockey as family. You know, these connections. I mean, they put everything they have to one goal, and that's Kentucky Derby. And to see some of these guys win, you know, or get on the brink of winning, like Brad Cox. You know, Brad, just a quick thing about him. He grew up 2 streets over from Churchill Downs. His 2 sons are involved, 3 sons. 2 of them are older. One of them's a young little guy, but you know, they grew up in the barn, and here they are walking over a horse in the Kentucky Derby. You know, it's just great stories.
They probably used
What's
to
that, Tom?
I said they probably used to park cars in their yard.
Oh, absolutely.
During Derby, because all the people that live around there charge people to park in their yards and stuff to make money.
Dan, it's a small world too. So Richie, I met Richie for the first time 2 weeks ago, and before the Derby on the show here, Todd, like I said, brought him on, and a girl from here just took over events at Churchill Downs from Pensacola, Nicole Finch, and Richie had just met Nicole that day or the day before that we met. So we had a common friend there on the very first time we met.
She stopped me in the hallway. I think it was on maybe Oaks Day. He was like, "I heard you were on a podcast."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
You know,
very small world.
If she sees it, she might tell somebody, Richie, and you might end up doing interviews for somebody more important than us.
This will be my one and only. This is the Todd Cooper special.
All right.
Well, listen, you guys, I appreciate it. You know, we'll be back next week, and Richie for sure. At least, when is your Never Ever tournament?
I'd have to look that up. I know it's late June.
Okay. Well, listen, I guess we'll talk to you on what, maybe the 4th at least?
Are you going to be at Belmont?
Yeah, let's. I should be at Belmont.
Well, maybe we'll
providing I don't screw it up here. We should be back with NBC on Belmont, and we'll see how that goes. We can do that once more. Even after Preakness, we'll come back and maybe talk about who won and how it all went down.
I love it. Yeah. Well, listen, you guys, I appreciate it. You guys have a good night. Any last words from anybody?
Nope.
Max,
keep it up, Max.
Max,
keep
I don't want to cut you off if you got something else to say.
No, I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
I love having you on, my man. Good luck tomorrow night and Saturday. Let it loose. Let it loose, Max.
I will.
Hey, Max. You know who Wayne Gretzky is, don't you?
No.
You know what he's famous for saying? I don't know if he actually said it or not, but they attribute it to him.
The shot, miss 100% of the shots.
You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Now he used to come. He used to come to the Derby every year. He was in.
Gretzky?
He was. I interviewed him in. What's the producer that has a booth?
Jerry Breckenheimer.
Yeah, Bruckheimer. He used to bring Bruckheimer. Bruckheimer used to bring him to the Derby every year.
Oh, yeah. No, this is something you all probably don't know. Jerry has a horse farm in between Louisville and Lexington. And I just found out, not only does he have a horse farm at this place, he has a private hockey rink.
Yeah. I've been to his house. I did it. I did his wife's birthday party. And I used to do his Derby Eve parties. Yeah.
That's awesome. And you got to play there.
Apparently, not only does he invite local people, but he invites NHL All-Stars to come out and do whatever, have practice, have pickup games at his horse farm.
Richie, have you ever met Eddie Olczyk?
Yes. I worked with Eddie on the road to the Breeders' Cup series.
Yeah.
NBC does a Breeders' Cup series. Super nice guy.
Yeah, you want to talk hockey, talk with him.
I'm telling you. Actually, they're setting up so since all the COVID stuff, he hasn't been on site at places. But I
Yeah.
walked by today down in one of the betting areas. They have a TV that's a touchscreen, and I was like, "Oh, Eddie's going to be here." So
Yeah.
my goal this week is to talk to Eddie and to let him know that, hey, I'm actually playing hockey. What are some of your pointers?
See
And to
if
let
you
him
can
know my
get.
sons, because it's been a bit since I've worked with him. He doesn't realize my kid plays either. I actually
Yeah.
looked for a youth jersey of his to have him sign, and I couldn't find one even online for a youth.
Talk to him about a jersey. He'll fix you up.
Yeah, I guarantee. Yeah,
He
yeah.
will.
I
Yeah,
thought he
he's
was
that
on-
kind of guy.
I thought he was on site at the Derby.
Okay, he may have been there. No, I don't think he was. I don't think he was at Churchill, was he?
Well, he was on the broadcast, so I was thinking that he was on site. But I don't.
If he was on site, I didn't see him. I was busy doing the follow along, so he may have been. I know he was involved in the broadcast, but I hadn't seen him on site.
I didn't realize he did hockey, and I saw him 2 weeks ago Saturday, and I'm like, "What's Eddie Olczyk doing horse racing?" That was awesome.
Oh no,
Well,
and he's talk about
he's
big
into it,
human
yeah.
beings, man. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Look him up,
Physical,
Max. Look him up, Max.
Well,
All right, guys. Well, listen, we're going to close it out for this week, and we may or may not see you. If you want to talk next week, the Zoom number's on the page, so just call in, and maybe we'll see you next week on Play Harder Radio. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming.
Yep. Good night.
Night,
Take care.
guys. Shit.
Cool. All right. We're on the wide shot, and we